Welcome everyone. Now we have Paul Gibson from WestWood and we have Mark Davis from Everlast Group. Today we're going to talk 1 hour shortlisted project and LRWA Awards. It's a call centre in Stockport. So, gents, could you give me a brief introduction about the project?
Yeah, so with the project, it was with an existing client where we had successfully completed 2 similar buildings of a similar size. Obviously, the client was really happy with everything. There was an old it was an existing metal profile roof which had been thermally upgraded with profile DPS and a new waterproofing system over the top. We came in at the survey stage to identify, this is after the kind of reports of water ingress into the building below. I came in, we had a look at the roof, we provided a couple of options, either to overlay the existing or to strip up and to thermally improve the performance of the roof. The client decided to go for the latter. So obviously that brought kind of various challenges with it. So that's what we went for. We thermally upgraded the roof. Everything that was there prior was kind of stripped up, and then the new waterproofing system went down.
What made this project stand out, you think, as a finalist of LRWA Awards 2026?
I kept in we had our field technicians that were regularly on site inspecting the work, so I kind of kept a handle on where we were with the project as well. And generally, I think despite issues, challenging conditions with the weather, I just think it went really well. We had and I think the end result kind of shows that really. Mark will probably know more about the coordination on site with M&E and stuff like that. But from our point of view, just really chuffed how well it went. And because it was in 3 phases, I think as well, looking at it now, we kind of learned from the first phase. The second phase got better, and then the third, even better. So I think we did it as best we could, really, didn't we?
So the overall planning was the key to make it work, because the call centre below was operational, and despite the height, which is probably about 6 metres above where the call centre was, the building just echoed sound. So we had to be noise conscious. We could cause as least disruption whatsoever. Bearing in mind, we're removing AC units, we're removing photovoltaic panels, to then remove the existing right down to deck. It was challenging, but the team that we had around us, we had regular meetings, we had weekly progress meetings with our third-party contractors, and then we had 2 weekly meetings with the client. So everything was transparent, and it absolutely. That was the key for it to be the success it was.
So that went really well, I think.
It was amazing. Like I say, everybody worked extremely well together. Can't fault anybody. Everybody was helpful. Everybody worked with everybody to make sure it flowed.
Can you describe the process of insulating PV arrays and temporarily relocating plant equipment?
So what we did on that, we scheduled it so that where the panels were positioned, some of them had to be totally removed, so they were took down to the compound. But where we could, in areas where it was open space, we stripped the roof back to the deck. We did the Westwood build up. We coated it, we got it finished, and then we relocated to that area to then free up the area that it was originally. Some of them had to be slid across, some of the AC units had to be slid across, because we had to keep the room below ventilated at all times.
Yeah, as you say, it's strategic planning, isn't it?
It was a key. It really was.
Right, and then how did the cross collaborations between Everlast Group and WestWood Liquid Technologies enhance the project in overall?
So, like Paul said, the field technician came out on a weekly basis. 1, to inspect what was happening, but to advise and assist in any issues that we might have faced with, because like I say, some of the detailing was quite difficult. We needed to make sure that the upstands were terminated correctly. So it keeps coming down to the same thing. That communication, that working together was key.
And it's a good insight, isn't it, from people straight from Westwood to come and advise things.
Yeah, it sounds simple and it sounds obvious, but yeah, I think it does really boil down to communication and just talking to each other, being on the same page, making sure, you know, we knew what the client was after, what they're expecting. And yeah, with regards to kind of materials, lead times, things like that, making sure that there was dialogue so that everything kept moving smoothly, so there was no delays.
What product that we use on this project, could you tell me a bit about it?
Yeah, so having the experience of dealing with the client before on two similar buildings, which were both live office spaces, and there was lots of plant air handling equipment on top of these roofs, we decided, you know, a few years back to use the WeProof 264 because of the kind of the low odor kind of, you know, benefits of that product, whilst also being a rapid curing product. So with this project, it was always likely to run into the kind of more inclement weather, the colder temperatures. It would still retain its rapid curing capabilities even in colder weather. So really from experience previously, that's what kind of led me to, and knowing that this was very much a live building, a similar scenario, similar kind of environment to what we'd had previously, it just made sense to go for it, really.
It sounds it really well, yeah. How will permanent fixed guardrails integrate it and encapsulate it within the waterproofing system?
So what we had to do with that, we was always encapsulating the parapets, and there was a freestanding guardrail that had to be removed, hence the scaffold had to be put up for edge protection. So unfortunately we missed out on the thought of it on the first phase. It was only when it comes to the second phase is, while we're encapsulating it, we might as well remove the parapet caps, fix a permanent guardrail into the existing building steel, and then encapsulate it all. Once we realised it worked on phase 2 and it was brilliant, it's less maintenance, it's non-disruptive to the actual field areas, the client said, go back and do it on phase 1 as well. And we went back and we followed it all around on phase 1. So again, it's another future-proofing the building,
Yeah.
and reducing their maintenance costs because they don't need it examining every 12 months. So it's helped twofold.
With the system as well, it is self-terminating, so ideal for a low maintenance kind of waterproofed encapsulated, you know, guardrail around the perimeter of the roof that, let's say, is not going to require, you know, looking at or replacing various bits from a maintenance point of view. It will stand the test of time, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's where quick problem solving comes, isn't it? And adaptability.
It's like what Paul said at the beginning. It's we were learning from phase 1 to phase 2 to phase 3, and it did proved value. Really did.
Learning,
Yeah.
What innovative techniques such as phase zoning or QR code hazard reporting were used to prioritize health, safety, and environment standards during the project?
So during the project, we always have our processes of checking the site, make sure it's safe before people go to work, which is recorded. They do daily task briefs, and they can be varied on whether it's working at height, whether it's working with substances, PPE, the hazard QR code. You're always going to get hazards on site. So the supervisor, we had a non-working supervisor on site throughout the duration, and he would pick up, even though some of the hazards were what we've caused, he'd pick up them hazards. And again, you're learning by it. They get briefs to the lads, and it like I say, it just mitigates any risk. There was no accidents or incidents. There was over the course of the 2 years plus. It was an excellent job.
Nice to hear that. Now we're moving to the achievements and impact. How did we ensure reduced fuel consumption and effective waste recycling throughout this project?
Right, so all the waste went to a recycling centre, and on that we had, and I can tell you in 1 second, there was somewhere in the region of just short of 260 tonnes of waste that came off the roof, which was all recycled, and as the statistics show, it equates to 35 African elephants in weight. And when you think about it, it was only a single ply membrane and insulation. It's made for a lot of waste, but again, all recycled.
What long-term benefits does the new roof system offer to British Gas in terms of durability, sustainability, and operational efficiency, do you both think?
Well, I suppose I can start with the waterproofing. So the system that we went with is tried and tested. That has come with a 20-year insurance-backed warranty. We also waterproofing systems that are independently tested in line with our BBA certificate, which would provide a minimum service life of 30 years. And I guess as well, the fact that, I can't remember the U value or the indicative U value that it was initially achieving, but we've obviously considerably improved upon that. So, kind of carbon savings and that side of things, which Mark probably knows a bit better than me, is obviously a big thing as well, which is going to provide obviously longevity.
Yeah.
That's a long time, isn't it? 30 years. It's like next generation.
The warranty.
The warranty.
Yeah. The actual savings for the client. So the thermal properties is saving the client 19.8 CO2 tonnes per year, and the PV, because they've relocated in better areas following the roof works, they're generating additional 49,788 kilowatt hours per annum. So they're benefiting again. They're bringing power back into the system rather than using it.
And it's improving the eco-sustainability as well for the building, isn't it?
Yes.
Even for the company itself. How has this project demonstrated excellence in liquid proofing, and what lessons can others learn from it?
Again, I don't think there's necessarily any specifics. I know we've harped on about it previously, but just from our point of view, when we're working with contractors, if you're working with a friendly, cooperative contractor that wants to achieve the same result as what you do, then it just makes life so much easier. And that's exactly what we had here. There was regular communication. The field technicians would come out, they'd pick up some snagging, it was dealt with there and then. It just got no arguments, no ifs, no buts, no maybes. It just got dealt with. And I think that kind of approach, that kind of collaboration, that kind of understanding, you just see it in the end result, and ultimately everyone is then, the client's happy, everyone's happy, you've done a good job. Yeah. You can leave site knowing that you've done as best you could do, really. It was
the transparency as well. So we wouldn't hide anything from either us installing it, Paul's team providing it, even down to the client. If something didn't go quite according to plan, it was said, this is the problem that we're faced with. And like Paul said, with the weather, any type of products are sustainable to whether it's wet, cold, freezing, glorious temperatures. There's always an area where there's that risk.
Yeah. We
managed it. I mean, on phase 3, the temperatures on that deck were getting up to something in the region of about 50, 60 degrees. It was too hot to work. So the teams would come in the morning, as in 4 or 5 o'clock, but make sure it wasn't too damp because of the morning dew on the deck. But we were telling the client, it when Paul's colleague come to check, was like, this is what we're faced with.
Yeah.
Tell us how we get out of it. Tell us what we can do to assist.
What solution is it?
It was brilliant, yeah. But that transparency went right the way through all the full 2 years.
That sounds really nice. I think it really deserves the awards, isn't it?
Oh, I think we're a bit biased, aren't we? But, yeah.
We might just be a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Personal reflection and future outlook. What does being shortlisted for LRWA Awards mean to you and your team?
Well, I've been in this game now, flat roofing, waterproofing, for the best part of 20 years, and I still get a buzz from seeing a project delivered properly, delivered well, and then being recognised by the industry for what it is and what's gone into it. So yeah, it's just great. You know, every time I get a project shortlisted, it's just fantastic to have been involved with it. And with these projects as well, I do like to see them from conception to completion, because I'm interested in what I do and how things turn out. And you look at a job at the start of it and you think, right, well, I think we can do this, we can do that, and then to see it in the end and to see that it's as good, if not better, than what you thought. And you need, obviously, the collaboration with the contractors to do that. It's great. Yeah.
It kind of gives satisfaction.
It does, definitely. Yeah.
I'm pleasantly shocked, because my job is to make sure that you deliver the scheme to the best of your abilities.
Yeah.
You don't expect an award, or you don't expect to be shortlisted for an award. You just do your best, and more often than not, it's oh, thank you, you've done a great job, a pat on the back. But to be shortlisted, it's, oh my God, it's my job, you know what I mean? But you know, it's great, it really is.
Something that you've been looking for 2 years, isn't it?
It is, yeah. But when we started this journey, not once did I think, in 2 years down the line, we're going to be shortlisted, because we were striving to give the client the best possible finish, and that's what we've achieved.
And you did?
Yeah, I'm just. It'd be great if we did get up on that stage and won it. I just hope they don't say,
I've bought a suit especially.
I just hope they don't say, Mark, you go and accept it. I'm going to be saying to somebody else, you go get it for me instead, because it's just, I'm doing my job. Very humble.
But let's say from our point of view, it's just so rewarding when we see a job delivered properly.
Yeah.
And that means a lot.
The fact that on this one particular scheme, because obviously we've worked with Paul on numerous schemes, but this one particular scheme where it's gone on for 2 years, and we've had the same team on it for 2 years. They know the WestWood product inside out now. They know it upside down, inside out. They'd probably be able to tell you what the barcodes are, because they're so used to it. And I can't thank the team, everybody, Paul, his team, the lads that were getting up at 3-4 o'clock in the morning to do the work.
Yeah.
I was strolling there at 10-11 when the sun was shining.
And I guess the same on our side as well. It's myself, it's my colleague Graham, who was conducting the regular field inspections. Once you've got that consistency, that continuity, like I say, you know how each other tick, and if you need sometimes to have a robust, honest conversation, because perhaps it's, there's areas that maybe aren't as going as well as they can, you can have that, and you're not falling out. You just know that it's that we're doing it. Everyone's doing it for a reason to, do the job as best we can.
Yeah.
Great project to have been involved with. We had got a few challenges along the way. The weather seemed to change on each phase, didn't it? We had various challenges.
It really did. I think we went through every different scenario.
Describe it. Like, what's in the phase one? Was it actually sunny, or was it actually?
It was everything. So on the product, you can't apply it in temperatures less than 5 degrees, and this is the deck temperature. And when the deck temperature goes over, is it 28, 30?
35, yeah.
So when you think about it, and the product that was putting down is like a slate grey, so it was absorbing the sun, and it got to times where the teams that were working on the roof, they'd be stripping off areas, and what you've got to remember is they were stripping off an area of maybe 50-70 square metres. They had to then make sure it was watertight because of the operational building below. So they'd strip off when the temperatures was hot. We were bringing them ice lollies. We had cooler boxes up there, keeping them hydrated, because it was just bouncing. People saying to me, they was like, "You've been on holiday?" Like, no, I'd been stood there watching the lads working. But it was challenging. But they all know now. They've experienced, from the frost, the rain, the wind, the sun. They've experienced every element. So that team now, they're not going to be fazed with anything that gets put forward to them.
bulletproof.
And so Mark, was that figure you mentioned that people had seen the work's progress?
So one of the AC contractors we had in that was relocating the air condensers, he come up with a statistic that something like 3.8 million people have seen the process that we've gone through throughout the course of the 2 years. And when you think, why are you letting that many people on? It's not, it's because it was on the flight path to Manchester Airport. So when you go up, and if you've seen the final product where it's a slate grey with the green walkways, it bounces out, you can't miss it, it's brilliant.
It does, yeah.
Really is good. I know when the client turned around and said it, and he mentioned about this green walkway, because predominantly your walkways are red, and we're like, green, really? And we started putting it down, and it was like, wow, it does look amazing, really does.
Yeah, I've seen the picture, it looks really popped up,
Yeah, it does.
It's amazing. Well, that's all our conversation today about one of our shortlisted project in Stockport. We'll see you on the next podcast. Thank you.
Thanks, Al.
Thank you.